Wow. Here we are in Huntington Beach. Not often do you see a giant helicopter flying over the beach. We are near Camp Pendleton, but look at this beautiful view, this beautiful beach action. This is our our tiny home real estate investment journey. So for those of you that caught it was early this year. I'll set the stage. It was early this year, and there we were, like beautifully on this gorgeous land in Sebastopol when our landlord said, oh, she's putting the land back on the market. 6 days after we left, shelter in place kicked in. So it was, in fact, that same weekend I was down at the San Diego Tiny Fest. It was great. We all were like, oblivious to knowing what was coming, such changes that all of us globally were going to be impacted with. So we put our plans for tiny home investing on pause because there was a moment when we were told about the land being put up for sale. Well, like maybe we can buy it and we'll put tiny homes on and it'll be a village. And, you guys, so many people love that vision and I love you for loving it. And it takes capital, it takes patience, and it takes perseverance to get through all the permitting and all that. Well, what happened in shelter in place? Everything was on like major pause. People were figuring out how to go virtual, permitting departments, literally things shut down, okay, for a while, as we all know. So now that we've all had some adjustment, not that it's perfect adjustment, but things are at least more in the flow with regards to building departments and planning and so on. So fast forward to October 2020, where we're at right now. I'm kicking it with our cab over camper because our truck was underwater. It was used to tow our tiny home, which is no longer being moved around a lot. But we didn't want to sell it because it wasn't going to make us the money. So what do you do with it? We put a camper on it. And I really wanted to build my own tiny home. I'm all about tiny home. Let's build a tiny home. That was gonna be like $30,000, $40,000. And excuse me, but because our builder went bust and because we did our big trip and because of COVID, which my husband's a caterer and that's no longer, we didn't feel like $30,000 was something we absolutely had. So we bought that for $6,500. And it works. Everything works. The heater works. The water works. The shower is a suggestion, but it's a toilet. I don't have to go anywhere else to figure out where the heck to go to the bathroom. That's one of the big issues, obviously. Anyone have that issue? Actually, as my parents drove down, we drove down in that, and they drove down in their car, and the one thing they talked about was how challenging it was to find a good bathroom in the world of COVID. And, I feel ya. So, we're cruising. I just did a Solarize My Tiny Home masterclass the other night. That was awesome. That replay we're going to be dropping soon. Eric's in there right now working. So we are officially doing virtual nomadic lifestyle because I got to go back in there and have a phone call with my dear friend Steve, who wants to solarize his tiny home. For a lot of people that are dreaming going tiny, they really need to figure out their tiny home. Maybe not that, but they want to figure out their design. We offer design packages. But if they want to actually solarize their tiny home, that's a whole nother conversation because you got to go off grid. Off grid is very different. Just because you talk to a solar company, most solar companies are on grid intertie. There's no batteries. There's no inverter. So let me give you an example. There's the solar panel. This is a 100-watt Sunflower E Flex panel. I am working with Soul Solutions. I am an affiliate and I'm also doing marketing and sales. And this kind of little unit, this cute little unit right here, can run a cell phone and a computer. Do not let anyone tell you that something small like that will run like a whole tiny home or even a camper. Because there's a lot of power that goes on with refrigerators and lighting. Well, maybe not LED lighting, but pumps and oh my goodness, if you want to actually, heat and cook with it, we actually recommend to think again, because it's a lot of power. But we can talk. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm actually about to get on a call with Steve and do a load calculation. And that load calculation really helps you figure out how much power do I need and how much is it going to cost me. So if you go to experiencetinyhomes.org, You can schedule your call to talk about your dream tiny home and that design. And you can also talk with me. There's a button right below that to schedule a call to talk about solar, because those two worlds are somewhat different. We'll be doing some different things on those calls, but this is all part of a real estate investment journey of a trip. And we just went to San Diego, where tiny homes are legalized in backyards. Let me start with all of California has the accessory dwelling unit ordinance passed. So if you have a lot that's like 6,000 square foot or more, it's very likely that you'll be able to put an accessory dwelling unit in the backyard. If you've got space, if you've got pools and other things that are in the way, then sorry. But for those that have the space, they can put an accessory dwelling unit. Well, in San Diego, Los Angeles, Fresno, San Luis Obispo, San Jose, Santa Clara County, I've run out of hands, Humboldt County, they can all put movable tiny homes, the ones on wheels. There's no movable tiny home around here, but obviously that's wheels, but that's a truck, so don't want to confuse you there. Think of tiny homes on wheels in the backyards as accessory dwelling units. So we are planning on attracting investors, maybe you, to put together a package where we buy single family homes and put a tiny home in the backyard. We may do some fixing, because I've been involved with real estate investing in flipping houses for the last 5 years. And every project we touch, we generate a return on investment for our investors. We do gather together as an LLC. I am not a securities person or even know what that licensure is. So that's the model, is that you gather together, you're all in there as a team. There may be one person or two people as a manager, which would be me and my husband. And then the rest, of course, would be members of the LLC. And then we go into a project, we run the numbers, and we do the project, and then we either sell or rent the home. Or we put it into a permanent real estate cooperative. That's a whole nother world. So wanted to pop on here and just say hello. It's been a while since I've come on to my YouTube channel, because we've been a little focused in the design world, in the solar world, and now we are officially kicking off the tiny home real estate investment journey. And we're heading up to San Luis Obispo. Today, we're gonna meet with Kenny, who's put 2 tiny homes in backyards successfully. Took about 3 months to get the permits, maybe a month over what the state of California has mandated jurisdictions to do. But hey, it's COVID. So all things are kind of, a little crazy and take a little longer. All right, with that, I'm going to leave you guys an amazing view, and you guys have a great day. ExperienceTinyHomes.org on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Experience Tiny Homes. Check it out.